Five, four, three, two, one, and we are rolling. Hello, everybody. I know it's been a while, but we are finally back, and it is playoff time for the NHL. This is another episode of the Red and Blue Crew with Eden Rosen.
And Ben Cooper.
We are recording this at 3:54 p.m. on Monday, April 17th, 2023, and it is a great day to talk about hockey. Benny, you want to start us off?
Yeah, so to start off, there's a lot to say because we haven't done a podcast since before the Easter weekend. So, let me start off with the not playoff thing. So, to start off, I would like to give a dedication to Jet Alexander. He went in for 1 minute for his first NHL start because Murray was hurt and Samsonov they were resting against the Canadiens. The Leafs were winning 7-1.
I'm sorry, Benny.
7-1, 7-1 against the Canadiens, the Montreal Canadiens, 7-1, and they put in Jet Alexander, and for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and he got a shutout.
When they're putting in a guy who hasn't played in the NHL yet, and that's not even gonna stay for one night, you know that's insulting. So,
yeah. Okay. Do you want to get to the playoff talk?
Yeah, I would love to. So, but first of all, I actually want to do one thing first. Me and Ben have playoff brackets that we filled out on paper. We're doing like a betting circle, and we have a lot of different combinations and everything. And I I somehow got Edmonton to play Boston in the finals, and I am, the playoffs. Sports are great because you never know what's going to happen, but there is likely and unlikely things, and that is not very likely. I don't know how I ended up with that, but that's what I have. And, but pooling $80, so better be worth it. Eh?
You're pooling $80?
Yeah,
With who?
my grandparents.
Wow.
Yeah. Who are
That's
you
a
doing
that's
with?
I'm doing mine with my cousins, but we are not pooling for money. We're pooling for bragging rights.
Okay, that's also good.
Yeah,
If you want to do a bracket, you could just do it, a bracket, um, by yourself on paper, and you could also go to NHL.com, and they have a betting thing that's actually really cool. And if you get everything right, you could win a lot of money. So, but enough
yeah.
talking about betting, because I don't like to waste money. I like to make money. And you know who is making a lot of money right now is McDavid, eh?
Yeah.
Tell us, Ben. How many goals does he have?
Um, last time I checked, it was 62. I don't know if it changed.
I'll check. So he has 153 points. Leon Draisaitl is second with 128. He has 64 goals.
Yeah.
And then he has 89 assists.
Wow.
So, do you think one day that he could beat Gretzky?
I think it's entirely possible with the skill level, and you've already said that he's better. So I'm
Like,
assuming you
not
think.
currently, but like all time, he's gonna be better.
Okay.
He has
Yeah,
153 points in one season.
yeah. I just want to tell you guys in my bracket, I had Vegas against Boston, and
Okay.
Boston wins in 5 games. So don't know how I got that, but I did. So
Okay. Um, okay, let's talk about the real reason why the time of year is so exciting right now for the NHL, okay? So and that is of course the playoffs. So our first thing, actually Ben, I'm going to let you have the honor of doing this. So what's our
okay.
first topic today?
So Patrice Bergeron, he might not be starting against Florida. He might not be starting tonight against Florida. he left the game on Saturday with a upper body injury. So he's a contributing factor. Obviously, he's their captain, and if he left, then if he or didn't leave, if he couldn't play, then I think that would change a lot for Boston.
Definitely, he's a great captain. Um, he was picked up in like the sixth round or something by Boston, in his draft year, and you never know. Some guys are like busts in the first round, and some guys are better than first round picks. So yeah, he's a great leader and captain, and he also gets some goals along the way. So yeah.
Yeah. Um, this is a very sad moment for us, for me and Eden, because we were really rooting for Buffalo, but unfortunately they missed the playoffs once again. Hate to see it.
But you know what?
What?
I know it was probably like a no-brainer, but thank God that McDavid, oh, sorry, that the Oilers made the playoffs. If they did not make the playoffs, I would be questioning my life, okay? Like every time, every minute a day, because I just can't get over they have an all-star goalie, the two best players in the world. That's debatable, but still. And um some great side players, and they have that chemistry. I just don't know what's happening in Edmonton, but at least they made the playoffs. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and they moved up a lot. Like Eden, if you want to tell them the fans where they are in the league right now.
Okay, fine. So, um, the Edmonton Oilers. What are they? What seed are they?
Yeah, where do they stand in the standings?
Oh, they're. Oh, oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, okay,
Yeah, so tell our viewers where they are.
okay. So, well, do you want like in the whole league or their
Yeah,
conference?
in the whole league.
So number one is Boston, then Carolina, then New Jersey, Vegas, Toronto, Colorado, and then Edmonton. So they have won 109 points and the Colorado Avalanche have 109 also. Okay. Yeah, how many games have they won coming into the playoffs?
Uh well, how many points did you say they had?
109?
Okay, so it should say wins right beside it.
Yeah. They have 50 wins.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, but they also they're not having okay, they're having a better than 500 season. In case you don't know what that means, it means like a 500 is they're winning more games than they are losing. So 500 would be like the same level number of wins and the same number of losses. So they're above 500 um with 50 wins and 23 losses. Okay, that's better. That's better. Okay? I'll give
Better
you
than you
Edmonton,
better
I'll give you
than
that. That's better, okay?
Yeah, they still should be better, I would
I know.
say.
Oh, I know, Benny.
So, yeah. Um as we go to our next topic, um will do you think so um Ovechkin and Crosby missed the playoffs for the first time in like 15 years.
Mhm.
Um, so, like when you think about it, do you think it'll be as exciting without this legendary rivalry?
I mean, it's definitely more exciting, but you develop more rivalries, but it'll definitely be sad to because ever since like what is it? Like 2006 or something?
Yeah,
Every time since then they've been in the playoffs, and it's basically like like a just a thing that you don't appreciate it when it's over. I mean, you appreciate it only when it's over, and you really take it for granted when they're in the playoffs because they just make it that more exciting because they're like two of the best players ever. And yeah, it's definitely gonna be really sad for me, but as I said, they're definitely gonna be a lot more star players and definitely more rivalries. And maybe we'll have a rivalry with like McDavid and Zegers one day, McDavid and Bedard or something.
Or now McDavid and like um I don't
Pasta.
know, McDavid and Pasternak, or McDavid and Drew Doughty, because they
Yeah,
keep playing the Kings.
yeah,
So, do you want to talk about that series, Oilers versus Kings?
sure. Obviously it happened last year, and the Oilers came out on top. Um, I'm really interested in this year. I do think the Oilers are gonna win. Obviously, I somehow put them in the finals against Boston in my playoff bracket, but um they're just a great team, as I've been saying. And but the LA Kings are really good too. They have a lot of great hockey players. They have Anze Kopitar, Drew Doughty, but they traded away Johnny Quick, and they have Vladislav Gavrikov, I think, is on there.
Yep. Yep.
You have any?
Yeah, I was just agreeing to what you're saying.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I mean, all playoff series are interesting, and yeah.
Yeah, so I have a lot to say about the Leafs versus Tampa. Do you want me to say it all?
Yes, I want you to rampage your heart out of about the Leafs in Tampa, Benny.
Okay. So, my first note. The Leafs. Oh wait. Um, the Leafs or Tampa. Tampa has Tampa's been showing, like, they've been showing some fatigue near the end of the season, but they know how to get it done at the right time. In the playoffs.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, it's just going to be hard to play them. They're just like such a grinder team, and they know when to get it done.
Yeah,
But the
definitely.
Leafs, on the other hand, had a good end to the season, but they don't seem to get it done at the right time.
You know, these
But
guys. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go on.
no, it's okay. Go on.
Okay. I just want to say this one thing, and then I want you to go back. But these star players, Marner, Nylander, and Matthews, they don't like when they get hit in the playoffs, and I think when they get hit, it intimidates them, and I think that's why they can't perform as good as in the regular season as a playoff in the playoffs, because I think they're like intimidated and afraid. But also it's just like a higher level of play, and also you don't get as much power plays because the refs are like a totally different person or like calling style in the playoffs than the versus the regular season. And yeah.
Okay, back to what I was saying.
Yes.
Um, where was I? Um,
You were
yeah, they
talking
don't seem
about.
to get it done at the yeah, they don't seem to get it done at the right time. But I went over some highlights of the last couple of Game 7 losses for the Leafs, and
Mhm.
I think there was something wrong with their goalies. Like they hadn't been playing the best at the end of at the Game 7. Um,
Yeah.
Campbell let in a bunch of 5-hole goals and like a bunch of weak goals.
Yeah.
But yeah, um I just think the Leafs goalie is way better this year. And
Mhm.
the Leafs technically the Leafs have a better goalie and backup goalie based on save percentage, goals against average, and shutouts. But Vazzy has playoff experience, and and
And he's one of the best
yeah,
goalies in our league.
yeah. But Ilya Samsonov has a better save percentage, goals against average, and they're tied for shutouts.
True. Yeah,
So
well, if you can remember, I'm not um in the game 7 of Leafs versus Tampa last year. There was a totally bozo interference call on um what's his name? Willie Nylander when he was setting like a screen for Tavares to rip one top
yeah,
cheese on Vazzy, and that
yeah,
ended up costing them the game. So refs.
yeah. Um, yeah, but you were talking about how there might be a lot of power plays, or there might be not any.
Hmm.
Either way, the Leafs have a better penalty kill and a better power play. So just
Yeah,
saying, just saying,
true, true. Yeah, I was. Yeah, yeah. You're
just
right.
saying.
There's a lot of factors in the playoffs, and it's like there's factors of like your mindset. If you're mentally strong, you can win the Stanley Cup in the finals. If you're mentally weak, there's no chance you're getting anywhere in the playoffs, and that's just how it is, you know.
Yeah, I want to
Uh,
talk about some of the series, though. Some of the
okay,
series.
okay.
So, I mean, I'm really interested to see what happens in the Minnesota Dallas. I know Dallas
Mhm.
is the better team, but
I had
Minnesota,
Dallas winning.
yeah, Dallas winning, yeah, in the Minnesota thing, yeah, me too. But I'm really interested to see how this one goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think Florida's a good challenge for Boston. Like, they're one
Mm-hmm.
of the stronger teams. I think all of the series are really good. Like Los Angeles and Edmonton, we already talked about that one. It's 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 turning into a rivalry, and we know who won last year, Edmonton.
Mm-hmm.
And I also the New York Islanders Carolina series. I
Mm-hmm.
think I think Sorokin could steal that series if he was playing his very best. Like
Really?
I know
I mean,
Carolina's a really good team.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, he's definitely one of the best goalies in our league right now,
yeah.
and yeah.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say all of the series because I think all of them are really good. So there's another series, New York Rangers versus New Jersey Devils. I had New York Rangers winning, but the Devils could win easily, or not
Mm-hmm.
easily, but they could win. So
The
this is a
Devils.
good series, evenly matched skill level. And we talked about the Tampa Bay Lightning Toronto
Mm-hmm.
games, rivalries, and Atlantic Division rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Winnipeg Vegas is a good one. I told you guys already that I had Vegas going to the finals somehow, but um, I think the Winnipeg Vegas game could go to Game 7. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Well, any game to go to game 7, but these are two pretty evenly matched teams. You know, Winnipeg has been great this year, but Vegas also has. Yeah, it'll definitely be one of the more interesting series to watch.
Yeah. So the final series, I think I said all of them
This
except for
is
one.
my favorite one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch this one the most. I love this
Yeah.
one. Actually, yeah,
I don't know.
Edmonton, Los
I don't,
Angeles.
I don't know if you can because
Yeah,
Seattle's
true. It's at
10
10.
o'clock. Yeah. But Seattle versus Colorado. I had Colorado winning just because of the experience they have. But I
Same.
can see this one also going to a game 7 because Seattle is really good this year, and um, and Colorado's okay, but they
I
have
just
that experience.
I want to point
But
this out. This is really uncommon. That Seattle was an expansion team. What is it? Last year? 2 years ago? No, last
last
year.
year, yeah,
Last year. They're already in the playoffs on their second year, and Vegas is actually a relatively new team too, and they're also in the playoffs. So this is very unusual, but also very exciting because it'll be really interesting to see how these teams do. These really new teams, and they have barely any
Yeah.
playoff
I
experience.
was
So
listening to a podcast, not our podcast, but another one, and they said that Seattle does not have a player on their team who's being paid over $6 million.
wow.
So it's not like they have superstars or anything. They're just like
Yeah.
it.
Their
Some
best
people
player,
say,
like Yanni Gord or something.
yeah, or yeah. Some people McTavish. Some people would say it's good luck, but I think they just have amazing leaders and some young guys like Jordan Eberle and the best rookie in the arguably the best rookie in the
Matty
league right now,
Beniers.
Matty Beniers. So to surround yourself with good people and good influences for that rookie, Matty Beniers, he's gonna have a career.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
He's going to.
yeah, I think we covered all of the series. Did I?
Yeah, we gotta make an extra long pod today, Benny, because you guys missed out on so much, and I feel really, really bad. We were just trying to get it all together. So I think we should do one more thing.
Okay.
Did we? Okay, so um, do you want to do all the teams, and say like who will be a key player for them in the playoffs?
Sure. We'll alternate back and forth.
Sure. You start with the Rangers.
Okay. So Rangers, honestly, I have to say, their goalie Igor Shesterkin is going to be a main contributing factor, or Patrick Kane, who has playoff experience and has been doing really well since he entered the New York Rangers. So I have to say them.
Okay.
And
That's good.
you will say,
New Jersey.
yeah, sure.
Okay. So well, obviously the youngster Jack Hughes is going to be really, really important for them. And also just goaltending is also a huge thing in the playoffs. So their goaltender, um, and also Jack Hughes and their goalie.
Okay. I'll do Los Angeles and you'll do Edmonton.
Okay.
So for Los Angeles, I think it's going to be their veterans and their players with playoff experience. I'm going to say Drew Doughty and Anze Kopitar.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Um, and then
You'll do
I'm gonna
Edmonton.
say okay. What am I doing? Edmonton?
Edmonton. Yeah.
Edmonton. Okay. So Edmonton, obviously, I would say McDavid is going to be a huge part. And Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah.
But also, like I said, Hunter Skinner. He's going to be also a great part. And then,
It's
yeah,
Stuart
probably
Skinner.
that. Sorry?
Their goalie's name is Stuart Skinner.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm thinking of a different Skinner. Stuart Skinner.
Yeah, and obviously McDavid and Draisaitl are the reason they're in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll do Minnesota. You do Dallas.
Sure.
So for Minnesota, I'm gonna have to say Kirill Kaprizov. He's just explosive kind of guy, amazing at passing, amazing at shooting, scoring, and I think he'll be a contributing and main factor in the playoffs for Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Okay, so I have a few players on Dallas, but I actually think that Jamie Benn has to be crucial for them because in the playoffs, leadership is a huge part of the playoffs, and Jamie Benn is a great leader. Obviously, he's captain, but also I think Jason Robertson and Pavelski have to be also really good.
Yeah. Okay. So Florida, when you're playing Boston, you need to have your core working, and this player has been great all season. He was an all-star. I'm gonna have to go Kachuk.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you
Kachuk,
do
that's fair.
Boston.
Yeah, Boston. Um, I think actually that what's his name? Marshawn is gonna be huge in the playoffs because he's a rat. He's an absolute rat. You do not want to have to face up against him. You do not, right?
Yeah, I like
And
to say, you hate to play against him, but you want
yeah,
him on your team.
yes, that's exactly it. He plays dirty, but he's he intimidates the other team, and he wants the other team to be aggravated, and that's a huge factor in the playoffs. To be a rat.
Yeah. So for the New York Islanders, I already said this, and I'm gonna say it again. Ilya Sorokin is gonna be the difference maker
Hmm.
against the Carolina Hurricanes, because the Carolina Hurricanes are a high-scoring team. They like to take a lot of shots, and I think Sorokin can shut them down and steal the series, like I said.
Hmm. Definitely. Um. So I think that Natchez is going to be huge for them. He's having a fantastic season, and also Brent Burns, obviously, um, because he has lots of playoff experience, and he needs to lay those big hits so the other team is intimidated. And yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever said it on this channel. I don't know if experience helps you in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I have no clue, Ben.
I
I
don't think
really
we've said
don't.
that on this channel ever. Like ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you do Tampa Bay and I will do Toronto.
Sure.
Okay. So for Toronto, I think their core four has to perform because they have playoff experience, just only first round experience. Um, and when you're playing Tampa, you have to. I'm speaking specifically to Michael Bunting here. You cannot let them rat you out like Brad Marchand.
Yeah.
You can't be intimidated, and you can't go in the box and give them countless penalties because then they're gonna score.
Yeah.
And I think the contributing factor for them that will lead them to the second round and beyond will be William Nylander. I thought he should have been an All Star, and
Oh wait,
just saying,
you're doing okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, keep going.
just saying, um, William Nylander had a great season. I'm not saying one player. I'm just gonna say the core four has to perform. And everybody is saying Matthews is having a quiet season. I don't think 40 goals is a quiet season. Not gonna lie.
Compared
Um,
to McDavid.
yeah, so, we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
And I think Mitch Marner and William Nylander, John Tavares, and Austin Matthews, if they perform and are mentally prepared to play Tampa, which I think they are, I think I think we could go to the second round.
Oh wow. Okay then. Okay. Well, those are some great opinions. Uh so I just want to touch on the Matthews thing. When you score 60 goals, people are expecting you to do better than 40 goals, although that's still so good. Anyways, okay, I'm doing
Tampa.
the Lightning. Okay. I think that 4 players, their core 4 has to perform also. Stamkos has to be a great leader and take lots of clap bombs. Um, um, Kucherov has to use those eyes of his to scout out people and also score some goals if he can. And Hedman needs to be um, an enforcer out there. He needs to lay hits. He needs to intimidate the other team. He needs to be a Brad Marchand kind of defenseman. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm gonna.
and Bezzy.
If you're leaving, like, I think Braden Point can also be a contributing factor. his last 6 games, I think he has 3 goals,
Yeah,
which is
he's been
amazing.
extremely hot this season. And how am I forgetting this guy? Vasilevsky. Man, he needs to be really good and sharp because you never know what's gonna happen with the Leafs. But yeah.
Yeah. So on to the next series, Winnipeg versus Vegas. I'm gonna say for Vegas, it's gonna have to be Jonathan Quick. He has playoff experience. He's a good goalie, or at least he used to be a good goalie, and he has to perform at his best for Vegas to make it past the first round. And I'm I have them in the finals, so you better get there, Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I mean, I just think with Vegas, just like you said, they're a new team, but they already have playoff experience, which is so cool because, yeah, and yeah,
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Um, Mark on the Winnipeg Jets. Mark Scheifele has to perform. Josh Morrissey has to perform, and of course, the one and only Connor Hellebuck has to perform. Those
yeah,
guys have to do super well. And like I said with Victor Hedman on the Tampa Bay Lightning, Josh Morrissey needs to be. I know he's more of an offensive defenseman, but he can do his thing, scoring goals and assisting people. But he also needs to be a physical presence on the ice too. So
yeah. So on to the next series, Seattle versus Colorado. For Seattle, I think it's gonna be McTavish, just because he's really their only, like, they have some great players, just not like superstar team. But I guess as we're seeing, superstars don't always win. Edmonton and teams under 6 million make it to the playoffs. This is very confusing, guys.
yeah,
So
definitely.
I think the main factor will either be their goalie Philip Grubauer or Jordan Ryan McTavish.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah. The Avalanche is an interesting one because Mikko Rantanen has had an outstanding year for them, and I don't know if they can perform as well as they did in the regular season without him because he has a what type of injury? A them?
sorry. Sorry. Um, I didn't see what type of injury. I just saw an injury. So
Okay, so he's out, and then Nathan McKinnon, he's gonna be a big part. Kale Maker. Oh, sorry, Kale McCarr. I like to say Kale Maker. Kale McCarr is also going to be huge for them because he's one of the best, a rising star in the league, and he needs to be great.
yeah. So we just said all the series. So now we have to tell you when they're happening. So
I got it.
I'll start from the beginning.
Fine. I'm
New York
doing.
Island.
I'm doing tomorrow.
Okay, fair. Okay, fine. So game one. These are all game one, all Eastern time. The usual, guys. New York
Today.
Islanders versus Carolina Hurricanes, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
This
Florida,
is April 17th, Monday.
yeah. Florida Panthers versus Boston Bruins, 7:30. Minnesota versus Dallas, 9:30. Los Angeles versus Edmonton, 10. And those are the 4 games for today. Thank you guys so much for listening. And Eden, any last notes?
Um, no, I don't think so. Let me just check the email. One sec.
Yeah. Um.
Um, okay, so we have um yeah, we don't have anything from you guys. I think you need to um just try to send us something. If you have any questions at all, just try to send us something. It's red blue crew 3422 at gmail.com. And yeah, it's just right there for you if you want to shoot us some questions. we would appreciate it. And yeah, it was a great episode today. I'm really sorry that we haven't been posting a lot, but we did it today. Better late than never. So we are out. See ya.
Happy International Croc Day.
Yeah.